Hello and welcome to episode 82 of The Adventures of the Vainglorious. We've got everybody here. We've got Adam, who's muted. We've got Kathryn.
Hello.
We've got Jess.
Hello.
We've got Simon.
Hello.
We've got Ed.
Hello.
And we've got Algie, Ed's dog.
Yeah. Woof.
Perfect.
Adam, we still can't hear you.
Adam, you have
What's
no
going
voice.
on? I promise I haven't muted you.
I'll speak for him. Oh, gosh darn it. Oh,
Well,
to be
go ahead.
perfectly honest, I'm...
Oh,
There we
yes,
go.
Yay.
goodbye.
hello.
Goodbye.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you now.
Now.
Yes,
Okay, cool. I don't know
Cool.
what happened there.
who knows? Previously, you were tracing after Farrellin through various planes, including Eberron and Hell, and had defeated the Collector when they accused you of stealing the Goblet of the Infinite, which was an artifact that Farrellin seems to be after. They had explained that the Infinite was an ancient mage who had made a deal with the devil, possibly, but reneged on the deal and managed to grow powerful out of it. And an organization known as the Eight had sundered their soul and placed it within a number of different objects. The Sword of Souls being one of these, the Goblet of the Infinite being another. Once you had defeated the Collector, you used Erallur's Planeshift ability, but it didn't quite go to plan, and you ended up in the Feywild, where Saluk managed to fly above the trees and had a look, whilst also finding some sparkly cobwebs and touching one of them. And then Elsie getting bitten by a strange plant rock turtle thing. And once you were walking through the forest, Saluk realised that one of the golden webs was still attached to him. And at the moment that Flint realised this, a large spider attacked you. And you managed to defeat it fairly easily, and then went to a glinting pool that Saluk had been able to see from above. Pretty sure it was a pool, which it turned out to be. You camped there for the night, thinking that Erallur's ability would refresh in the morning as it had before, but Saluk having drunk from the pool and Elsie having splashed around in the pool during their watches, Elsie was struck by a shape moving in the water. Juniper saw it as well, but then was made blind by whatever this thing was. Elsie then was confronted with a watery version of herself that solidified very quickly and then just walked into the water because she wasn't very wise. And this new version of Elsie solidified quite quickly. You all woke up to Juniper barking quite loudly and a little bit of a splash. And after some deliberations on seeing that Elsie was apparently fine, you investigated the water where the splash was, and through Saluk poking it with his stick and Erallur using Thunderstep, you managed to bring a slightly watery looking Elsie out of the pool and had a little bit of a Clone Saga issue where you didn't quite know who the real Elsie was, even with Juniper casting Zone of Truth. After some deliberations and some insults flying and some truths coming out, Juniper asked the very salient question of, "Are you the real Elsie?" To which Elsie answered, "Yes." And the Echo Nymph turned out to be, could not answer yes, and then just sodded off because realised that the jig was up and walked back into the water. On the morning coming, yeah,
We all did.
yeah.
Elsie almost died and revealed her deep, dark secret. But hey ho, okay.
Elsie, in the process, revealing that her other sister, not Maud, Esther, had passed away of an illness that she and Maud had tried to get a healer to solve, but had arrived too late. This slightly strange healer had then proposed that they capture Esther's soul in a bottle, and Elsie was searching for the Sword of Souls in order to find a way of putting this soul back into living flesh. You then, come the morning, used Erallur's ability with her cuirass to planeshift back to the tavern, the Hourglass and the Pendulum in Waterdeep, and got back to find that it was pretty deserted, unusually. And upon investigation discovered that there was a floating city that had appeared above the Sword Coast, a little ways away from Waterdeep. Flint, realising that this was probably a Netherese city, which is quite odd because they collapsed and fell from the sky a long time ago, and that is where we left it, with you in the street confronting this new site. What would you like to do?
It's probably fairly hard to do so from down here, but can I ascertain as to whether there is any life on this city?
Make a perception check.
Can I shoot Truffle around as well to either make his own or grant advantage?
You could do. I mean, I think it would be separate because it's from separate perspectives.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, yeah, just roll 2 perception checks.
Well, Truffle got a natural 1.
Ooh, truffle.
And I got an 18.
Truffle, unfortunately, zips up into the sky, and you see a few other birds flocking around, and they just buzz around Truffle and seem to flock to him, as if expecting him to fly with them, and just the burst of feathers means that Truffle isn't able to see anything. From this distance, it's very hard to see if there's any life.
Okay.
There are people in the street behaving like this is a brand new thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
People were like, oh my god, it's a thing.
Is it currently moving or is it staying in place?
It's hard to tell. It's almost like a cloud in terms of it might be moving quite slowly, but you're not really sure.
Okay. We spoke to someone, didn't we? We asked them what they were looking at.
Yes, there was a person up on a roof with the telescope
Yeah.
who informed you that it seems to be a floating city.
We turned around and saw the floating city.
Well, you got to a different angle.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you were street level. I think Flint
Yeah.
climbed a crane
Yeah,
harbour and told the rest of you.
I'll start making my way back down.
Okay.
Making my way back down.
I'm still watery,
Yes.
Yeah.
and I don't seem to have on my character sheet that I am damaged anymore, but am I still damaged?
No, you would have slept.
So I'm fully healed, but
Yes.
I'm watery,
Yes.
and I've got my hat on.
Yes.
Yes.
Hip, 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 hooray.
I was literally there. 1 second.
A really cool hat.
Can this day get any more weird? Can we just not go to a strange place for once? I know where I am. Why? Also, I'm watery still. Why? I turned to Erallur, thinking that she may know the answer.
Oh. Well, I don't think this changes our plan, and I'll look around at everyone, because even given the floating city, I think we still need to go and speak to, an authority figure of some kind, and maybe they will know about the floating city and whether it has anything to do with it.
Hey, not a bad idea.
Was that place not there before?
Oh yes, no.
No, it definitely wasn't the last time we passed through, I'll say that much.
It's stolen all of our customers.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any pubs on there, I don't know how they'll get to them.
Yeah.
I have never seen a city like it, floating in the sky.
Buying customers only.
I used to have a lute that made me fly, and then I gave it to a magical monster.
It's always the way of things, Juniper.
It's a well-known story. Tell us all this time.
Also, Elsie, I don't think any of us were proposing that we go to the strange floating city, so I think we're okay on that score.
Well,
Okay.
no, let's not be too hasty. I mean, it looks interesting, and but it looks quite pretty.
So, Luke, remind me what happened when you touched something interesting last time. Was there
Maybe we should go and see the black stuff.
was there a spider?
I can't recall.
Strange.
Oh,
We
look
can
over
go-
there! And then she starts marching ahead in the direction.
Can't Flint literally not recall because he forgot
Yeah,
everything?
Flint
in
did
the
forget.
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
Feywild, yeah.
Flint doesn't know anything.
I have no idea.
You don't know what they're talking about.
So is Flint not confused that why I'm all watery?
Yes, very.
I mean, I assume it's something to do with hell. You were probably frozen, and now that we're in the material plane, you're just melting down a little bit, and
Her
Yeah, that makes
skin
sense.
is slightly translucent.
Could be like
So,
a-
Aye, it'll pass, it'll pass.
Plane shift side effects.
Yeah.
I've learned not to question anything now.
And then we joined a cult.
And then we joined a cult.
The campaign started with you defeating cults, so you joined one.
Full circle.
Oh, no.
Dramatic, whatever.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm just expecting the city to just let out a blare and then just be like, "Show me what you got." Yeah. So Luke has.
So Luke's just walking off.
Sheepishly walking ahead towards the keep. When he gets a certain distance away, he looks behind him to check whether or not anybody's coming with him.
Nobody is, I don't think.
Ah.
Also, where are you heading to?
Towards the Blackstaff house.
Why?
No, not the Blackstaff. The
Open Lord of Waterdeep, Laeral Silverhand, the person who gave you this mission.
yeah, that one.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his face?
What's her face? I think you'll find.
What's their face?
I'm saying the black stuff's probably not a bad idea either, but
No,
maybe
I mean,
later.
yes, but I don't think Sir Luke knows the Blackstaff nor knows who she is.
That's
No,
true.
never heard.
I was gonna say, you guys can go and have a lovely chat with her. So Luke and I will just be there like, who are you?
So Luke does not get power structures.
Do you think I need to come with you, or can I just go to bed? Wait until I don't become watery, or
This is early morning the day after you've just been to sleep. Going to bed, probably not. You're probably not going to sleep. You could go to bed because you're ill, but...
yeah, but I'm watery. Like, if I get too hot, I may evaporate.
Oh my god, it's like the first X-Men film.
Senator
Senator
Kelly.
Kelly.
Yeah.
We
Are
can,
you a god-fearing man?
we can put a bowl over you so that if you evaporate, we collect the water.
We will find a jar. You will
Lid.
find.
A gnome-sized bowl.
Great. I'll go and join my dead sister in being in a jar. Great.
I didn't
God,
say
don't
that.
be so more.
I just look at Erallur like, seriously? You'll put me in a jar?
Vigo just shrugs and goes, keeping it in the family.
Are you not curious about what is going on? I mean, the whole city is in excitement. Why do we not go and ask our questions and find out what we have missed?
Well, we're gonna go anyway, so let's off we go then. I just start pushing people in the direction of where everyone else has gone.
Where are we going?
Well, do we know where the Lord of Waterdeep lives?
Roll a history check.
Well, where did we go with them last time?
They
came to us.
She came to your pub
With you.
with you.
No, because then didn't we? Am I misremembering? Oh no!
Are you thinking of the other dude?
Didn't we go to a place with a big table and then we met somebody as a guy? Was that different?
Yeah, Vigo's boss,
Yeah,
who
No,
sort
there
of
was no
sent
big-
us on a mission.
that was a
But-
long time ago, Simon. No,
I might
the
be
big
thinking-
table. The big table was when you were sent into the Undermountain around episode 30.
Oh no! Do you know what? It's because it's Waterdeep dealing with the like.
Yeah,
There's
that's-
also a big table at Juniper's dad's house.
Yeah, there were a lot
Mhm.
of big tables in this campaign. It's the big table arc.
It's the thing.
It all comes together at the end.
Yeah.
What am I rolling? A history
Well, you
check?
know, I've based the campaign story on 4 legs,
Ah, yes.
and it's made of robust wood.
Oak.
Indeed.
I rolled a 17 history.
Okay.
17 histories.
17 of the histories.
17 of the histories. You would know that the Open Lord is located in Castle Waterdeep as her home, which is above the Undermountain, but it's possible that she might not be there, particularly with the city appearing. You have a chance of meeting her there if you go, but she might not be there at the moment.
Would Saluk, considering the circumstances under which they met, would he know her as a politician of action? Would you say?
Roll an insight check. I don't know how Saluk would view this. This is kind of...
I didn't realise I had to say to inside. 15.
You haven't known her long,
Hmm.
and you aren't that au fait with politics, really. It's not really an interest of yours, unless I'm mistaken.
It's more like a character assessment, I guess.
Yeah, so
Considering how they met, would he think it fair to assume if we head towards the action?
yeah, that would be a fair assessment, given that you met her whilst facing a green dragon, somebody who would combat a creature like that, mostly on their own. It's probably safe to say they're a politician of action.
Can you remind me what the hierarchy is, where she is in the hierarchy?
So the way that it works in Waterdeep is that there is a council of lords called the Lords of Waterdeep. Most of those are unknown to people. They run in the background. But then there is one who is the open lord, who Layrel is, which is the known face of leadership within the city. So they are the person who sees petitions, openings, all the event sort of things that happen. And they're almost the face of representation for the council and for the whims of the Lords of Waterdeep and the Lords Alliance within the city.
Okay.
So she would be basically the highest, but it's similar to how...
Publicly the highest.
Yes, and it's similar to how Prime Minister grew up as first among equals, but is now more presidential in style. It's the more archaic version of that. She is more beholden to the lords than our current Prime Minister is.
Okay. Knowing the layout of the city, how far, I mean, is this floating city right above the city? If people were flocking towards it, would that be to a place within this city?
No, they're not necessarily flocking towards it. They're just getting a better look.
Okay.
It's quite a few miles off.
Okay. In that case, I'll turn to Saluk. I'm not sure where we would find anyone if we did go into the fray, because where is that?
Well, don't you city folk put your important people in the biggest houses? So we go to the biggest house. And then he points at the castle.
Why did you say it that way?
Jazzing it up for our audio-based listeners. I'm adding texture to the podcast.
Our audio-based listeners as opposed to our site-based listeners.
Well, yeah, that's what makes them listeners.
You know, when we started this, Simon, your command of language was one of the main reasons that...
He's very skilled.
Yeah.
Thanking you. I'm still waiting for you to accept my offer of an episode-ly dictionary corner.
Well, Juniper's nodding sagely at these words. She's very impressed by this the logical deduction.
Is the castle a good suggestion?
Yeah, that is
Okay.
Castle Waterdeep that he's pointing to.
I mean, let's
Then
take
yes.
some initiative and play a campaign. Let's go to the fucking castle.
Okay.
Nothing standing around in a street and dragons. It's really good.
That could be a good campaign. Like, you're trying to do very normal things like getting the shopping, but there's been disaster, like a dragon attacking, and you have to like
shit,
roll.
The bags have split.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to get home.
Take the bins out.
That's it.
You can make a good one-page
Yeah.
RPG out of that.
Yeah, you definitely could.
Yeah.
We're all chickens and we're just trying to cross the road.
Again, a good
Yeah,
one
and you've
page.
got to avoid Graham because he'll just lag up your entire day for an hour as he talks to you about beans.
So is the suspected Netherese city, does it seem to be doing anything or?
No,
Okay,
not at the
Hanging.
moment. Just hanging out.
just chilling. Okay.
relaxing or cool.
I'd like to keep an eye on this cool city as we make our way to Castle Waterdeep.
Okay, make another perception check then.
10.
Okay, doesn't seem to be doing anything. Okay, so you're going to Castle Waterdeep.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you start to walk along, you, Erallur, notice that Vigo and Brenna are not that keen to come with you.
In what way do I notice that?
They seem to be dragging their feet a little bit and having fairly quiet conversations, mostly Vigo talking, but there are very visible gestures that they are making quite emphatically at each other.
Can I just casually hang back and then start walking behind them?
Okay, make a stealth check.
Try and do things I can't do.
Stealthily.
Probably not very well, Jess.
You can do that thing where your watch, your
Yeah,
magic
yeah.
watch. You just all the time. Oh, God.
Get your arcane phone out and pretend you're
Yeah.
texting.
11?
You walk over. Brenna doesn't seem to notice. Vigo makes eye contact with you almost immediately and stops talking.
I'm just going to walk behind them, basically a herding technique to make sure that they actually come with us.
Okay. Roll a persuasion check.
Can it be intimidation?
It could, if you want it to be
'Cause I'm
intimidation,
just,
yeah. If you
know,
want to
I'm
add
not-
a scowl
Yeah.
to it. That's fine.
I feel like I'm not charismatically ushering. I'm just sort of
Aggressively walking.
I guess so.
Power walking.
I haven't used this for ages. Where is it? Okay. I mean, my plus is better than the roll. 17.
Okay. They look a little bit nervous, but you give them the eye, and both of them speed up a little bit. They still seem reluctant, but they're going with you for now.
Okay. And obviously, if they start talking, I will listen.
Okay. They don't seem to be continuing their discussion.
Yeah.
Given that they know that you're there, it seems like it was a private discussion.
Would I be willingly wanting to go there as well, thinking of my history?
It depends whether you think a pirate going to see the Open Lord of Waterdeep, who is notorious for trying to rid the Sword Coast of the Gentarim, is a good idea.
I think it's a great idea.
She doesn't know you're a pirate.
I lower my hat ever so slightly.
Your
Yes,
pirate
Yeah,
hat.
yeah, because that'll hide it. Yeah.
I pop my collar
There are like skull and crossbones underneath.
and I go and stand
I
next.
lower my eye patch.
Pull your boots up over your wooden leg.
I go and walk next to Juniper, and I look at her and go, if anything goes strange, you'll protect me, right?
Sure. And so will my rat friends. And then I take out a rat skeleton and give it to her.
It's just it's not even animated.
No,
It's
not
just a
animated.
rat skeleton.
I take the skeleton, I look at it, and
As you hold it, the skull just slightly falls in your hand and just go.
and I go, thank you.
Yeah.
And I just carry on walking, just holding this dead rat skeleton, just like every now and then, just kind of looking at it, going, half expecting it to maybe do something.
Always its head is slightly to the side and the jaw is open but misaligned.
Thing. I'll animate it when we get there.
Okay.
That's a treat.
Okay, so you start to go up the hill towards Castle Waterdeep. It's almost a fort. It was built quite a long time before Waterdeep became Waterdeep. It was almost the basis of the city. So you start walking up the hill. You can see that there are a number of guards and City Watch who are rushing about up and down the hill. A few of them look at you a bit strangely as they pass, but they don't seem bothered by you. Are you having any conversations along the way, or are you just happy to get to the keep doors?
Do you not think it's strange that this flying city has appeared as soon as we get back here?
Like, we don't know that it's appeared just as we've got here. Like, it could have been here for a while and people are just stupid. Like,
Here for a while. Why are people rushing about as if it has just appeared?
Very
Ooh.
strange, but we have pressing matters.
And if these things are connected, then I suspect the Open Lord might know something about it. But like Erallur says, press on.
Did Flint tell the group, oh, I think this is an old wizard city?
I think on the way I'll probably express my musings and just I don't know if this is the case. I thought they'd long fallen into myth and legend, but the only thing that I've heard of a city floating is the old Netherese Empire. Have any of you heard of the Netherese Empire at all?
I
Make
don't
history
know.
checks, everybody.
Have I?
Feel like I don't.
Oh no.
No. I've never heard of history before.
What is
You've used
l'histoire?
all 17 of your history. 14.
Okay,
I got 15 somehow.
okay.
6.
Errol, this is a strange gap in your knowledge. You didn't really study this part of history. It was more based on current events and current alliances because of your family's concerns. Elsie, you don't really know. You think you may have come across the name in a few artifacts that you smuggled once, but you didn't really care. Juniper, Saluk, you've heard of it. You know that it had something to do with magic and mages ruling over people. The floating city part, you suppose, is possible, but you can't remember hearing that before.
That's peculiar that we have just found out we are wandering around with the artifacts of an old wizard, and the wizard city shows up right where we were headed.
Aye. It's strange.
One city was bad enough. Why do we now have to deal with two?
Wait, you think the Infinite is in that city?
I do not think anything much at all about it at the moment. I think we should talk to the Open Lord.
Well, I think whatever the case, whatever is up there, the Empire was a very powerful place, constructed of magics that many of us now, even the most powerful of spellcasters, have no access to the sort of magic that these sorcerers, wizards, magic users were capable of. They created floating cities, they cast spells that reshaped reality itself, and then one day it all came crashing down. No one knows why. Some, maybe, but certainly none I've spoken to,
Crashing down, literally.
as I understand it. Aye.
But it's there now,
Aye.
remade, or the same.
Maybe they missed one.
I doubt that.
I'm just going to say, you guys have already told me that you've encountered time stuff. Are we sure we've not gone back in time?
Well,
The city's gone forward in time.
The pub still had its expansion, so at least I assume it did.
Yeah, it did.
I also track time by our pub.
but it is also wholly possible. Like I say, these magic users back in the day were incredibly powerful.
How long have you had your pub? I can't imagine it's very close to thousands of years.
No, the year is currently 1 PP post pub.
But I would not be surprised if it is connected to
The pub.
the pub. Juniper, yes, and I scratch her head. And there we go. To
Oh, damn it, Jess.
all the goings on with time,
Maybe they came forward in time.
perhaps, as a means of escape. I don't know.
Well, whatever it is, city should not fly. It is stupid.
I thought you'd like a flying city, Sir Luke.
Nor, what is the point?
Is that just because none of your cities fly, so you're now jealous that there are flying cities?
No.
Nailed it.
And he starts fiddling with his necklace and shrugs his shoulders.
Okay,
Okay,
so
I guess we make fast headway, considering time may be involved.
okay.
I animate the rat.
Ah!
What, like an emissary?
Yeah, Juniper's been a warlock all along.
Yeah.
Squeak.
She worships the rat.
I mean, don't we all?
So yes, Elsie, this corpse reanimates in your hand and then looks up at you. The jaw's still slightly the wrong way.
Be nice. And I put it on my shoulder.
It sits there quite happily. Doesn't make any noise. You just hear the occasional click of its bones as you walk.
The rat-a-tat-tat.
Yeah, the tail is even more disturbing than usual because it's just bones. Okay, so you charge on up the hill. At the top, you come to a rounded wall. It's not quite circular because the hill itself and the way that the fort is built onto it isn't circular itself. And you see that there are a pair of guards waiting outside in the traditional colours of Waterdeep. One of them looks you up and down and starts to walk over towards you.
Who has the contract? It might be me.
I assume you.
You have most of our paper.
It is me. It's me.
Yeah.
Who keeps notes?
I'll take the contract out.
Okay, the guard walks over to you and says, "And what business do you have with the Open Lord this day?"
I show the contract and I say, we have a very urgent update regarding our high priority, high secrecy contract here.
She also came to say hello. She knows us.
Higher priority than a floating city.
Well, it may well be related. So about the same.
I see. And also a secret mission that you openly show the contract for.
Well, it doesn't say on the contract all of the ins and outs.
I mean, surely you're not suggesting that you are untrustworthy in the eyes of the Open Lord.
No, of course not.
Well, I was about to say, because if you think that you would probably spill the beans on something like this, I mean, we'd probably have...
I have never
words with
spilled
Lord Silver.
any beans, Master. Are you trying to irritate me?
I am not. I am
He
very,
doesn't
very
have to
loyal.
try. Pat him on the head.
Are you questioning my honor, sir? Because I will defend it in open combat.
Well, you know.
I will do
think
so
he may
here on this
challenge you
hill
to a-
if you choose to do so.
I don't, buddy. I don't.
Then why say anything at all?
Well,
Because you asked us?
I asked you, not him. He's
Well,
rude.
we're a group, so
I
we
He
have a
asked
tendency to
the
butt in.
question.
Well, sadly, the Open Lord does not have time for groups of adventurers today. Good day, goodbye, leave now.
No.
I'm terribly sorry. What did you just say to me?
We've come to see the Open Lord.
Yes, I'm aware of that, but she is very busy, as I'm sure you can understand.
I don't think she'd like it if she found out you turned us away.
She told me to turn everybody away.
Well, I don't think she was expecting us to succeed so quickly.
What if I told you that there were 20 crossbowmen up on the wall and they could shoot you full of holes quicker than you could disagree with me again?
I would tell you that I have a way to avoid that situation from happening.
Well, it seems we're at an impasse and the doors are still closed. So, what are you to do?
Is the door open?
The door is closed.
Oh.
What is your name?
Why he
Please.
said,
Walk through the door.
What's your name?
my name?
Yeah.
I am Sir Corinth.
Okay, I take out a notebook and I write it down. I will be speaking to your manager.
Oh, you fucking Karen.
And as soon as we
will not be
see...
speaking to my manager because she
But-
will not be seeing anybody today, as I have already stated.
Well, when we do see her, which will be today, but that's not relevant. When we do see her, she will remove you somehow. And I tell her.
I don't think she will, but you are entitled to your opinion. Please leave.
Why don't you just go and ask her?
Because she has told me specifically and explicitly not to disturb her.
This may seem a strange question, but I'm assuming we can see a way to use the door. It's just that it's closed.
Yeah, there are handles on the door. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I look to Juniper. I look to my little mouse friend.
He's a rat, but okay.
This is a rat. I'm pretending it to be a mouse because they're much cuter. And I then throw the rat at the guard.
Jesus Christ!
Oh, an attack!
Oh, okay. I just wanted to distract
No,
it so we could run through the door.
it's a ranged attack, my friend.
Oh dear. This would be with dexterity?
It would, yes, but not proficiency because you are not proficient in rat throwing.
I'm a pirate. I throw them off the ship all the
Are
time.
you proficient in improvised weapons?
Yeah. 10.
Okay, so the rat hits his chest plate and scatters across it. The bones just ting, 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 ting. He looks at you. Please leave. I will not ask you again.
Can I have an intimidation check with advantage now that the rat's been thrown?
They seem not terribly flapped by the fact that a dead rat was just chucked at them. You
Why
get the
did-
sense that that's not an uncommon occurrence in this city.
Why did you throw the rat?
I would rather like to know that as well, actually, yes.
I thought it might distract him so we could just go through the door.
His name was Derek.
Did you have 20 other rats for the crossbows all aimed at us as well? Or?
I don't know, Juniper, do you have 20 more rats?
Elsie, can you roll a perception check for me?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I've got 11 rats.
35.
You notice that all 20 of those crossbows are aimed directly at you.
Have we been in this building before?
No.
Okay. How many of us are there?
There are you 5, Vigo, and Brenna.
Wait,
Okay.
wasn't Castle Waterdeep where we went for that ball?
No, that was the
No,
Black
that's
Star
the
Tower.
Black Star Tower,
Oh, yeah, of course it was. Yeah.
How
Which-
far away are the crossbows? Out of interest.
They are probably 50 feet.
Okay.
Why?
I also have a...
What are you planning,
Depends how
Bard?
destructive is your plan, Jess?
I mean, it's very low on the destructiveness scale.
Animating their individual crossbows.
Just making them,
I've got
just
a
making
zero,
them singing weapons.
a zero destructive plan, but I don't mind.
I do not understand why the leaders of the city would keep the doors locked. Surely the head of the community should be able to be spoken to at all times.
She has decided what to do, and she needs to do so without distraction.
Okay, well, as members of the community, can we not help her with her decision? It does not seem fair.
She may call on you later, I don't know, but she is currently planning with a few of the other Lords of Waterdeep the response of the city.
All right, and she has posted you out here as her representative.
Well, her guard, certainly, not as a representative, no, she wouldn't.
So if you work for her and she has put you here to stop people seeing her, then we can see you. We will tell this guard everything. Let's tell him our whole story now. So it all started when I was wandering around and we got to this village.
Okay.
And then
This
and
has
then
been really nice. Yeah, this has been great. And then, okay. So I'd like to cast my highest level spell.
What?
Oh, your non-destructive plan.
Yeah.
So Luke's just innocently going along and telling the whole story.
But to interrupt that, I'd
She
like
casts
to
meteor strike.
cast teleport into the
hill-
building.
So you cast teleport.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's how I met.
Okay, so
There's some like
teleport.
real weird specific rules that I haven't written down about how it actually works.
Yeah.
That I thought when we finally do it, I will look at
Glorious. Are you teleporting us or him?
all of
It
us.
depends whether he's in there.
Why not him?
Imagine if we
Oh yeah, we could take him too. That would be great.
No, I mean teleport him away.
Oh, no, why would I do that?
So because he's not guarding the
But
door.
but there might be more people inside, whereas I can just take us straight in.
Like, we do have 20 crossbows aimed at me currently. But won't they just
Okay.
fly through me because I'm water?
They're not aimed at us.
You're still solish. Solish. Okay,
I'd like
so.
to also aim into the upper part of the most
Okay.
the bit. I mean, I know castles. I might know where the
Okay.
main bit is.
Your
Okay.
familiarity with the destination
Yes.
determines the success.
Yes. So I need to roll. The destination you choose must be known to you, and it must be on the same plane of existence, which it is. Known to you, you know it's there. You don't know
Yeah.
the layout. Your
Can I-
familiarity with the destination determines whether you arrive there successfully. The DM rolls D100 and consults the table. Sorry, Ed, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, can I tell that Erallur's about to cast
Teleports into
something?
the castle.
Well,
Well, the components of the spell are verbal, so probably not,
Teleport!
given that she probably just says something arcane quite
And-
quickly.
in that case, I don't have the time to do what I was going to do to help. But
Meow.
No.
I had another spell I could use. It's fine.
Let's have.
Let's
Okay,
all
that's
make.
amazing.
Let's all take our action at the same time.
Yeah.
My action was to lean back to Erallur and say, can you not pretend to be the Lord's sister? Pretend to be family, if that'll let us in.
This is how we ended up in the plane of.
Ah!
Yeah, it's like a D100 roll. It's terrible.
Okay, this is really confusingly explained.
I know,
Name
it's
of
so
box.
weird. I didn't even write it down. That's how confusing it is.
So you viewed it once.
Interlude
Play.
music. Do, 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 do.
That's a confusing one.
I will also read it.
Yeah, I don't know whether the app explains it terribly well, so I'm just going to have a look in the player's handbook.
The book seemed quite clear.
Okay, let's have a look.
Do you not have any nice spells?
Vicious mockery.
I've seen it casually from the outside, which is one of the
Yeah, but you've
things.
viewed it once.
Yeah, which is the one below that.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is,
Yeah.
we've got
Okay.
50% chance. No, we've got
Okay.
like 30% chance of being on target.
If you
Okay.
viewed it once, you have a basically if you roll below a 43,
Yeah.
then
So-
a mishap happens.
I rolled an 88,
Yeah,
so that's fine.
it's fine in any situation
Exactly.
unless I have a false destination.
Yes.
So that's fine.
So you cast the spell, and all of you feel a strange hoik from the back of your neck as magic seems to lift you out of the spot that you were in. And there is a brief, oh gods, as Salute continues with his story. And then you and disappear, and then reappear in a strange chamber that seems pretty square to your view. It's 40 feet by 40 feet, made of the same stone as the castle that you were looking at. There is a door on either side of the room, both are closed, and there appears to be a table in the center that is hexagonal in shape, has a few seats around it, 16 in all. There's a few markings scratched into the table here and there. Looks like they were just done by knives or blades of some kind. There's a few moth-eaten tapestries hanging from the walls depicting strange battles that you don't really identify. They're a little bit moth-eaten to tell what battle they might be depicting. You seem to be inside Castle Waterdeep.
Oh, I met the open... Oh.
Did we take the guy with us or not?
No,
No,
I
we
didn't.
didn't in the end, no.
I think that would have been hilarious, but I also like the idea of him standing outside still.
Okay, so you're in this room?
Is there anyone else in the room?
No, there isn't. And also
We
you
all-
hear this
we all-
sudden... as Vigo is very sick.
I know that feeling, my friend. I know that feeling.
I
No.
would like to use prestidigitation to clean it up. I think the open
The
door's
sick
coming in.
immediately
and there's sick
disappears.
everywhere.
And Vigo says, thanks, Juniper. No offense, Erallur. I really hate magic.
Same.
I miss Derek.
Yeah, Elsie, what was the plan there? Throwing the rat at the guard?
I thought it may distract him enough that like it might like scurry on him, so then he would be distracted by that, so we could just go through the door. But
Right. It was a
Nine times
thought.
9 times out of 10, I don't really ask. I just do.
We're getting that impression. Just
Where
don't,
are we?
Just don't wander into a lake again, okay?
No, which is a shame because I like water. Water's my friend.
Yeah, I don't think all water is gonna try and kill you, but you know, just in case.
Yeah, true.
No unfamiliar lakes, let's say.
So where are we?
Hopefully inside.
We seem to be in a room, and there is a table.
Are you just
and,
gonna describe what all of us can see, Saluk, or
Well, I'm getting there. Don't ask me.
No spoilers.
Are there any doors?
there are two
I was
doors,
literally
yes.
just going to ask.
Yeah, there are two
There are
doors.
2 doors either side.
That's when he says.
Are they both shut?
They are currently, yes.
Okay. Flint.
Right.
Maybe we could send Truffle around a bit.
Yeah, I could do that. I just nod my head in the direction of the nearest door.
Okay, it's closed. Truffle doesn't have any
Okay,
hands.
yeah, he can't open doors, can he?
Is there like a keyhole or anything that we can look through?
There is a keyhole. There's also a latch to open the door as opposed to a more traditional handle.
Okay. Well, there's a door and there's a table.
I open the door.
Okay, so Luke just said that. What is wrong with you? Like, did teleportation... I know I was sick, but did it scramble your brains or something? Oh, no.
I've just cleaned this up magically.
I take a step away from the vomiting then.
Okay, so Erallur, you open the door.
Yes.
Okay, can you
Patience.
make a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
It's a mimic.
5.
Okay. As you touch the latch, you feel a spark of energy jump into your hand. And you take 8 points of lightning damage as a blue sheen crackles across the door.
Well, that's
How
not
much,
good.
sorry?
8 points of
So
lightning damage.
4.
Jeez, what aren't you resistant to?
Bludgeoning.
Love.
Piercing.
Pro,
Were you about to say
Corruption.
probing?
no, I was trying to think of the word corruption, but
Oh,
I
see.
couldn't remember what that word was, so my mouth just said words.
Corruption, probing, probation,
Probuption.
production.
Economy.
Well, it
I
looks like
think
we've come
business
to another
people.
room that we can't leave. Great.
There's 2 doors, right?
Mhm.
Are they next to each other?
No, they're opposite each other, either side of the room.
All right. And then Saluk strolls over and tries to open the other door.
Okay, make a dexterity saving throw.
Natural 1.
Oh. You take 3 points of lightning damage.
If this is the only room with trapped doors, then we chose the worst room to come into.
We all open the door at once and we overload the system. Now, the dexterity saving throw thing, is that only for area stuff?
Area effect.
Yes.
So I'd take full.
Yeah, so 3 points of lightning damage.
While they're trying to open doors, I go over to one of the chairs and just sit down.
Okay.
Open the chair.
Can I use my mage hand to try and open the door?
Yeah, sure.
Then Michael's like, you sit down, roll a dexterity save.
No, Elsie
The
sits.
floor is electricity.
Everything's lightning.
End of campaign. So you sit down. It's fine. Elder's mage hand goes over, floats to the door, touches it. There is a of energy again.
So can I not open it?
No,
Even with... Okay.
no. The latch doesn't move when you try
Oh,
to move
okay.
it.
I think there is a spell on this one.
No, really?
No, really.
Um,
Oh, you were doing that thing where... okay.
would,
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay, I was mistaken.
would I possibly know if this was magic or if this was some kind of locking trap mechanism?
Well, I'll kind of check.
Yeah. Maybe it's alchemy.
Natural 20, so that makes it 24.
It's probably some kind of magical trap, possibly to keep you in the room, obviously, but your familiarity with magic is limited, so you're not sure why this would be useful.
Yeah.
A locked room with a table and chairs in the middle of the castle seems a bit odd, but then something clicks and you realise things like the castle of the Open Lord of Waterdeep would probably have defences about people trying to appear in them magically, and might send somebody to a specific room within the castle to contain them.
Erallur,
Yes.
I think you may have done a bad thing.
Ah,
So, this is a castle of a very important person that probably doesn't want people magically teleporting into their castle. So, we've probably been sent somewhere that they want magical people to be sent to when they try to gain access illegally. So, yeah.
well, hopefully that will draw the attention of the person we actually meant to see. And then I sit down on the floor.
Okay, not on one of the chairs. Okay.
Are there any windows?
No, there are no windows.
What's above us? Upper walls to roof area.
It's a fairly high-ceilinged room. You see that there is actually a grate in the ceiling that just seems fixed in place. It's quite a small grate, but the ironwork on it is fairly ornate. It looks like vines just twisted together, and they look as if they've got stylized thorns crafted into the metal.
When you say it's quite small, is it 4 foot tall salute size?
Well, across, it's probably 2 feet. So you could fit your shoulders through there, but you might not be able to fit your wings.
So Luke flies up to the grate.
Okay.
How does it seem to be fastened on?
You can't really see the fastenings. It looks like it's set into the floor, and then there are stones built around it to support it.
Right.
So the fastenings might be above rather than below.
Is there any give if I give it a pull and a twist, or?
Can you roll a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
Oh no. 25.
Okay, you take half damage as another shock of electricity goes through you, so you take 7 points of damage. Lightning again. So you look as Saluk flies up to this grate, grips it, and then there's a that spasms through his body.
So Luke flinches and then has a think, and then goes and tries to push the grate upwards.
Okay, roll the dexterity saving throw.
23.
Okay, you take 6 points of lightning damage this time. Folks, are we just going to let him keep shocking himself?
I'm busy animating 3 rats to pass the time.
Okay.
And I'm jealously guarding them from everybody else.
Sending a scowl Elsie's way as
Yes.
each one slowly rises. You have angered the bard.
I look over at Vigo and go, he'll eventually learn to stop doing it.
He's done it 3 times already.
He has some common sense, I think.
He's with us, does he?
Yeah, no.
So Luke flies back down and kind of lands on the floor and nurses his wings. It's gone through and really kind of jammed up his wing shoulders. I don't know what they're called.
They come out of your shoulder blades like it's
Wing shoulders.
wing shoulders.
The shoulders for my wings.
Shoulders for wings. Yeah. I think they have some kind of spell on every exit.
They don't on the chairs.
That's not an exit, though, is it?
How do you know?
I gesture towards the chair and say, well, after you.
Oh, okay. And Vico sits down. Nothing happens.
Is there anything on the table?
There's a few carvings. They look fairly rudimentary. Nothing else.
Any penises?
Roll an investigation check.
Like to pass the time?
Like an investigation with that.
Yes.
Open door.
13.
The rest of you watch as Elsie goes into a fairly involved exploration of the table. And you think maybe she's searching for a switch or a mechanism or something that might unlock the room and it's a secret or it's a test. But then a few minutes pass and finally, Elsie, you just find this tiny, very crude dick carved just into one of the legs.
I knew it.
What?
And then just return to my chair and sit down.
What did you know? What did you see?
I found a penis drawn on the table.
Right, is that pertinent to...
No, just thought it might be fun.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I sit down. I
Okay.
sit down next to Erallur and just take truffle out and start tinkering.
Okay.
We do not have trouble with people drawing penises in my village.
Is it because you don't have them?
We do not have them, yes. Is there anything shiny or of value that would draw Saluk's eye in the room, or is it fairly plain?
Roll an investigation check.
I shall investigate the shit out of this room. A giant golden penis with my natural 20.
Sadly, there is nothing shiny that would catch his attention in the room.
Oh.
Okay. Yep, fine. He all sits down on the floor in the space and just goes, well, if we're going to be here for a while, and then starts whittling away at his javelins just to sharpen them up.
Okay. As you're whittling away, you actually see some of the sparks flying as the metal is being sharpened. And there's just a glint of something, Saluk, just in a corner that you spot just as the sparks catch it.
What is it?
Do you want to go over to it?
I take a closer look and then stand up and wander over.
Okay. So you wander over and you discover that it appears to be a bone of some kind, but the glint you saw was a little bit of flesh still on it, and it's tucked into the corner of the room, almost under a stone.
Okay. So Luke looks at the group, and then back at the bone, and then looks at the doors, and then the grate, and then back at the bone, and then very cautiously prods it with the javelin.
Okay, you prod it,
Kind of
nothing happens.
dislodge it.
Oh, to try and dislodge it?
Like dislodge it from underneath the stone.
Okay, I'll say make a strength check then.
11?
You pull it out and one of the...
No,
bones-
sorry, I lied. 6.
Okay, you try and get it, but it's too crushed by the stone.
Okay. Juniper,
I toddle over.
I have a gift.
Yeah.
Look,
Ooh.
I know you like them. I thought you might want it.
I
You
do
just
like
see-
bones.
The tip of a bone crushed by a rock.
Just a tip.
Does it look like I could easily get to it?
You'd have to move the stone.
Yeah. How big is the stone? I don't know if you said. I missed it if you did.
No, I didn't say.
Yeah.
6 inches by 4 inches. Pretty square. It looks like it's a brick of the wall.
Could I lift the stone?
You could try.
I would like to try and lift the stone.
Okay, make a strength
Whenever
check.
we can get it. Can I assist her, please?
Okay, make a strength check with advantage then, Juniper.
Yay! Oh, the first one was 9. And the second one was 10.
Pretty heavy rock, unfortunately. Both of you are straining, but you just can't lift it.
Very heavy. I'll look at my spell list.
After a few hums, you notice that Brenna comes over and just looks down at you from their fairly towering height and just says, "You need help?"
Yes, it's very heavy and I have very short arms.
Nods.
I help Brenna.
Brenna just taps you on the shoulder, makes a little bit of a no face, and just gives you a gentle shove away, and then immediately lifts the stone one hand and then places it under. And you all see the remains of what looked like a severed hand still rotting. And as the stone moves, there is a very pungent smell that starts to permeate in the room.
I mean, I'm a dog, so I probably don't mind the smell. You know, we roll in dead squirrels, it's fine. So is it just a hand, or is there a person attached?
No, it's a disembodied hand with tatters of cloth.
Human?
It's hard to tell. Roll an H check.
I don't think birds have great smell, so I think I'm all right.
No, probably not.
Nature, that's a 7.
It's humanoid.
Okay. Does it look like some kind of trap in the room?
No, it's just on the floor and just was under a rock.
Do you suppose somebody got hungry or wanted to come back for it?
Maybe. Flint's going to start looking around at the walls and using my very cunning stone senses. The interior of this, does the rock or anything match up with anything that I saw on the outside of the castle at all? Can I get any sense of where we are geographically or anything like that at all?
Okay, I'll say roll a stone cunning check then.
Okay.
I genuinely thought that you were going, is the rock a different colour to the rest? Does it have a weird black outline around it as if it might be animated differently?
So that is 20, not natural.
Okay. It is definitely the same stone as Castle Waterdeep is built from. It's hard to tell geography-wise because there are no windows. It's likely you're in an area of the castle where prisoners are held, but from what you could see, you can't really tell where that might be in relation to the front gate or the higher or lower reaches.
Right, okay. I suggest we just sit and we wait. I think we can't get out. We're just going to have to wait for it to come to us.
I'm sitting leaning against the wall, and I'm just like, yes.
Do we think someone knows that we're here?
I hope so.
Wait, you think we're just supposed to rot here?
I hope that eventually the Open Lord will find out the description of the people who were asking at the door, and or that there's been an intrusion, and put 2 and 2 together.
Okay, I knew this was a bad idea.
Everything's a bad idea with us.
Can I pick up the hand?
Yeah, sure. It waves oddly and clinks together.
I put it on the table.
Juniper flops the hand onto the middle of the table.
This way we can all keep an eye on it and make sure it doesn't escape.
I just do that thing where you silently just turn to her, my head slowly inclining to the side, my beard hooks clinking, and then I turn back and continue tinkering with truffle.
Okay.
So Luke is going stir crazy for this short amount of time.
It's been 10 minutes and it's like...
He doesn't have much patience for enclosed.
And he can't see the sky. Yeah.
Wanders back over to the door that he tried before. Looks at it again. Hey, Juniper, can you give me a hand over here?
I can give you this hand.
Yes, that's actually what I meant.
Wonderful. I like it when a plan comes together. I bring the hand over and myself and 3 skeleton rats.
I wrap my hand in a bit of my robe and take the other hand, and then use that to try and turn the handle.
Okay. So there is and it shocks the skeletal hand, but there is nothing to conduct it to you, so it doesn't shock you.
I really thought that would work. Oh well. I'll give the hand back.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's slightly smoky, and there's a
You
definite...
mean cooked? It's slightly cooked.
Yeah, and there's a definite change to the smell. Still quite overpowering to those of you who are bothered by such things.
Well, at least we're not going to starve. That's the most important
With all
thing.
this finger to you.
Yeah. Can I try and scent for other body parts?
Yeah, roll a
In
perception
case.
check.
Yeah.
Here, boys, smell this.
Oh dear. Hold on, I need to go to my... And as a sniff check, I will get advantage.
Yes, it is.
Sniffing all day. Okay. Well, the first one's 27. Oh, the second one was only 17, so I think I'll stick with the 27.
There's no more body parts, but there's a definite familiar tang to the room, very similar to the tang of the river Styx.
We're in hell again. No, yeah. The room smells a bit like when we were in the river Styx.
Maybe that's just left over from when we were there.
I sniff my fur.
There are a variety of rich smells.
Yeah, I smell great.
Loamy earth, mushrooms, bones, blood.
Blood.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't smell like the river Styx. Who's closest to me? Is it Sir Luke?
Probably, yeah.
I smell Sir Luke.
Yeah, blood. Slightly heavier tang of iron, similar to the river.
It could just be us, I guess. I mean, how do we know we're still in Waterdeep?
By now, I wouldn't put it past us that we're in some other magical place that I've never heard of before and never plan to go to ever again.
I mean, Erallur, do you know when your spell works?
What do you mean?
You get like a green tick or a red X?
I mean,
or-
I've never done that spell before.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right, so you were just able to know that we could just teleport?
I mean, it's a bit like the plane shift, I guess, but just local.
Okay.
Well, it's never sent us wrong so far, so...
I mean, it did.
It took us to the Feywild where we got where we got attacked by a giant gold spider and I almost died.
I mean, thus far, whenever we've teleported, it seems to have taken us to exactly the right place that we need to be. So maybe we need to be here too. I'm not one for fate. I'm not one for predestination, but we haven't been led wrong so far. And I pat Erallur on the shoulder.
Can you reach?
We're sitting down. So I stand.
I find some fault with your statement there, Flint, but I've not been with you long enough to probably know that. So...
Yeah, well, you get used to it after a while. Somewhat.
Does anyone
We're
have any
stuck in a featureless room together.
Also, no, I don't think I have any alcohol, sorry.
No, same.
holding out for some?
Let me check my bag.
Did you not
So
take
are we
some...
just going to sit and wait?
Elsie, did you not take some with you from the house in Neverwinter? I seem to remember you grabbing the bottle of wine before we left.
Oh, yeah.
So you
And then-
have alcohol.
I then rummage through my pack and find the bottle of wine.
I feel like it's in character for Elsie to ask for others before you can go and buy them.
I forget I have my own wine. Yeah, so I just get out the wine and just start drinking it. I
Okay.
then take a couple of swigs, drinking my wine, and then I then realize there's everyone else there, and I go, yeah?
Vigo takes it immediately.
Oh, okay.
So the wine is offered round. Jess, were you going to say something?
Oh, I think we can drink wine first.
Okay.
Before we,
So time passes, an hour and a half, 2 hours. Nothing seems to be happening. Nobody seems to be coming.
Were those hours long enough to have a bit of a rest?
Yeah, you can have a short rest in that time, definitely.
On a short rest, do I have to use hit dice to...
Yes. Hit dice or potions.
I don't know where hit dice are on this.
You, as a monk, I think, are D8, so you should have 13 D8 at your disposal.
Is anybody else using D&D Beyond? And I know, I remember. You actually click short rest. I remembered.
yeah, it's pretty good. It does it. It's you're like, whoa.
Yeah, it's good until you're just looking for the hit dice themselves, and then you always...
Yeah.
So whilst Sleek's doing that, Juniper?
Do you think we're being watched?
I mean, possibly.
It would be a bit strange if the Open Lord knew we were here and then didn't do anything about it.
Well, we might not be watched by the Open Lord. It could be that guard from before, and he could be like, ha ha ha, you're in a room, and I get to, because he was mean and didn't want to listen to Sir Luke's story, and he broke Derek, and it was all very sad.
He did seem to be the type to laugh about that kind of thing.
Can anyone magically send any messages?
I imagine if a teleport spell was stopped, then any other kind of magic probably would be the same. Unless you meant a physical message, but...
Or either. Both.
Then no.
What happens when you try to overload magic? If you
What
want
do
to
you
beat
mean?
someone with physical strength, then you overpower them. Can you do the same for the magical arts?
I mean, if you can, then that's a bad security system.
Don't those security systems have a flaw?
Are you suggesting that we all try and hit the door, overload it, or that Erallur tries and hits it with magic?
Yeah, can you just set the door on fire, Erallur?
Elsie, fires in enclosed rooms, generally not a good idea.
Well, I could pour the wine on it. Oh, wait, no.
You live on a boat. How do you not know that fire is a bad plan?
It's been so long that
you've become an idiot. Okay, yeah. No more alcohol for you.
Give me my wine.
No.
I'll just cast Blink.
Okay.
And then wait until... Because it's normally combat, so I'll just wait till it works.
Okay.
I don't know if you want me to roll or just...
Yeah, please do.
Okay. It's 10 or...
Above, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is 10 or above. Cool. 12.
You cast the spell, and Erallur suddenly disappears.
Can I, at the same time, just in case, double whammy here, if you will, since that's a level 3, can I use Skipping Stone at the same time?
Yeah, you can do. How far can you go on Skipping Stone again? 15?
I think it might only be 10. But I'm leaning against a wall.
Yeah.
So
you're trying to go
I would
backwards?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guess so. 15
forward.
feet. 15 feet forward or backwards in a straight line.
Okay. So Erallur disappears. Erallur, you reappear in the ethereal plane, and you see the room with the smoky walls around you, but you also see something you've never seen before, which is a blue crackling barrier around the entirety of the room.
And is that in both planes?
It is.
Okay.
Yes. You couldn't see the barrier before, but now that you're in the ethereal plane, you can see that the magic is there. And as you try and blink backwards, you hit the barrier. And you take 10 points of lightning damage reduced to 5.
Since in combat, you basically come back to the material plane on your go, can I do that by choice now without actually dropping the spell?
Well, it's 6 seconds, so you would probably come back fairly quickly.
Okay, so I'm going to come back exactly where I was.
Yeah. Can you make a constitution check? Is it a concentration blink or not?
No, it's not.
Okay, then you don't need to. So yeah, you come back where you were. So Erallur reappears.
And just
slightly smoking.
Yeah, there's no use. We can't use magic here. And then just...
Okay. So another hour passes, and then eventually you start to hear footsteps from above you.
Hello?
Well, that went rather well, didn't it? Tried to use magic to get past me, did you? Thought that she wouldn't have any defences against such a manoeuvre. That wasn't very clever.
How are your physical defences? Just like you?
Well,
in the room?
No, he's above, and as you look up, you see his eyes looking down at you through the grate.
Right.
My physical defences are very, very good. I am a trained swordsman and archer, and I could quite easily dispatch you, Master Dwarf.
Cool. Well,
So I beg you, keep testing me.
Oh, you'll be begging me. When we talk with your ladyship, we'll, you and I will have words.
She's not coming. I've told you, she is too busy to deal with the dregs of society.
I'm a dog of society.
He's also a bird, so...
I am not part of this society. Do not drag me into this.
Yeah.
Can you just go and get her, please? And I'll try casting suggestion.
Okay. What saving throw is it?
I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming it's charisma, but...
Can I help by casting it as well?
Cross the streams.
I mean, you can cast it separately.
No, I'm
That
good.
won't help. I don't know what double
Wisdom.
suggestion does. Wisdom. Oh, unsurprisingly, this fellow is not terribly wise. So you feel the magic take hold, and you see just briefly, all of you, as a little bit of rose-tinted magic just sneaks up his nostrils, and his disposition seems to change slightly as he shakes his head. Oh, yes, I shall go and get her. Yes, of course.
Also, bring some wine.
No!
Yeah.
Bring some wine. No, it doesn't
I think it only works for the one
Yeah.
suggestion.
One suggestion.
No!
I'd worry about that overruling the previous one.
Yeah. All right, yes, I shall bring you some wine. Rot down here, rot.
And I'll pour it through the grate.
So, time passes again, seemingly another hour, and then finally, there are some hurried footsteps, and you hear somebody saying, "What? They're in here, are they?" Yes. I came to get you as soon as they told me to. You came to get me as soon as they told you to. Yes? Right. So you thought that when they cast a spell on you that didn't work, because magic doesn't penetrate the barrier, that you would come and get me anyway. Yes. Why?
Leave my explanation outside. I reckon.
Well, powerful magic users, I thought that you should probably deal with them. They could be Netherese agents, after all. All right, go back to the gate and kindly jump off the mountain. And then you see the familiar face of Layrel look down on you from the grate. Who are you?
We have your sword.
My what?
Your sword, just like you said. And then I get the inert sword of souls out of my bag.
Can you roll a Constitution saving throw for me, Salik?
Oh, go on then.
As a treat.
Constitution saving throw, but make it sexy.
Yeah.
You said make it sexy. Dirty 20.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Constitute
You
my
take 1 point of cold damage
Ooh, shit.
as the sword is deathly frigid to the touch. It didn't do that before.
Can I notice anything happening with the sword at all? Anything out of...
Roll a perception check to see if you noticed that Saluk was hurt.
16.
Yeah, you saw Saluk shiver.
Yeah. One moment, please. And then I turn around away from Layrel, show it more readily to the group. Does this seem more active than it was to you?
Does it seem more active?
Seems fairly inert to what you can see. It looks the same. You saw Saluk shiver, but...
No, looks the same to me.
Because it feels more active. Here. And then I hold it out. Handle first, I would say.
I'll have a look. I'll touch it.
Roll a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Oh, yeah, baby. 24.
Okay. You take 5 points of cold damage.
Okay. And do I get a sense as it's going through me what is happening?
No, it just hurts.
I keep a hold of it and just say, I suggest no one else takes this for now. And I look up at Layrel and just say, we got this for you. And now we did, aye.
Now our debt is fulfilled.
Debt?
Yes, the life debt that you held over me and subsequently my group.
I've never seen you before in my life.
And
I have a contract. This is your signature.
No, it isn't.
Does she seem like she's telling the truth?
Roll an insight check.
8.
16.
Flint, it's very hard to tell. So, Luke, you're very confused. She seems quite earnest, though.
You saved me from the Green Dragon outside of the High Forest.
I haven't been to the High Forest in many years.
Does she look any different?
Roll a perception check.
And does she seem like the same person that we talked with at the pub?
I'd say off your insight check, you can't really tell.
Okay.
I mean, neither can I. I got a natural 1.
It's hard to tell. She was a fairly ageless looking person anyway, so doesn't appear to have aged, doesn't appear any younger.
Have you hit your head?
No.
Do you have a twin?
No, I have several sisters, but no twin.
And you notice that you're very concerned that someone's obviously going around pretending to be you.
Happens quite a lot.
Okay, well, in that case, can we just go home?
Well, no. I have rather pressing concerns, as I'm sure you can tell from what my guard told you before he decided to bother me with this. You are one of those concerns now. That was some quite powerful magic you used to get into my house.
You mean
But your house was somewhere else.
No, you are in Castle Waterdeep. Who are you?
Who are you?
She's
She's
Lyra Silverhand. She's the open lord of Waterdeep.
Well, I've never met her before.
Play it cool. We are the Bane Glorious.
Wait, that's our
adventurers.
name.
That is our name.
I didn't agree
look
to
at
that
that.
name.
Well, neither did we. We were given it, but we've sort of
Well, perhaps when this is all over, we should have a think about that. But yes, I suppose that is.
a discussion for another day, perhaps. But we've grown fond of it. But we're adventurers. We're pub owners. We're
Oh, you're Vajra's project, aren't you?
well, we are not. But and I nod towards Erallur.
She gave us a pub.
Yes, I heard that she gave away property in my city. And why are you here?
Because someone dressed like you, who looked just like you, gave us this job. I hold up the contract. We did the job. We've come back. Now we're imprisoned in your castle. And,
you want to give me a sword?
well, no, not anymore, really, because it's not actually you that wanted us to do it.
Wait.
It.
I still want to give her the sword. I want to clear my debt.
Salute, this is not the same person.
But clearly the debt does not exist.
Well, somebody saved my life. Otherwise, I would not be here. Unless he kind of withdraws within himself as he gets all existential.
Yeah, maybe you saved yourself.
Really, the person who actually wanted this sword is no longer here and doesn't want it anymore. So I guess we'll go to the other guy that wanted the sword.
The other me?
No, this is someone completely different. Don't worry about it.
No, I will worry about it because you broke into my house.
Okay.
Perhaps you should go get Vajra. If you know that we are a project of hers, then she can vouch for us.
Roll a persuasion check.
Also, it does concern me that you call a castle your house. Like, it's a castle. Call it a castle.
It's where I live. It's a house.
18.
Fine. If anyone can clear it up, it should be her. I don't know how long this will take, though. As I'm sure you're aware, she's probably very busy.
Well, we'll wait.
Turns out you don't need the sword, so
She's
I'm
already
in
left.
less urgency.
In the meantime, we should probably decide what we are going to do with this sword of souls.
Well, I'm not convinced it's actually it anymore.
Wait, what?
Well, it's changed since we got here. I don't know.
Yeah, but so Luke, didn't it not work for a bit, or it was quiet or something?
As far as we were aware, and it certainly didn't feel like it does now.
But we held it before in the tower, didn't we? And it didn't do this.
No, I don't think it did do damage then.
No, I don't remember taking damage. So, the person you thought that you were doing all of this stuff for, going to all of those different magical lands, going to hell, actually doesn't want this sword at all.
Nope.
Well, they might do, but they just weren't expecting us to come back with it to the place where the person they were impersonating would be, I guess.
But to answer my question again,
A
the person
perfect
that you
plan.
thought wanted the sword doesn't want the sword.
Apparently so. So, I suggest we make ourselves comfortable in this electrified room.
Maybe the person who asked us to get the sword the first time was also the person who asked us to get the sword the second time.
Wait,
Maybe.
You think Manchun
Well, is he a wizard? He's a wizard, isn't he?
Arcane.
Or sorcerer. Yeah.
something?
He might
Not
have
that
very
bad.
good
I mean, that would be
impersonation powers.
his kind of game.
Get us there in the first place, surprise us, tell us more directly to go get the sword.
Impersonate the Open Lord to get Saluk on side.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you've got a life debt to my boss.
But what do we do with the sword now? I cannot keep it. I will not take it home with me.
Take the soul of that guard's person.
Yeah.
Evil
What was his
campaign.
What's Erallur's alignment again?
I have corruption points. Don't question me.
This whole experience just tips us over the edge, and we go full Age of Ultron and just go, we're going to bring down this nethery city on Waterdeep, and I'm taking out my harmonica and starting to play some Jailhouse Blues.
Oh.
Okay. So you wait for a few hours.
I take out my drums.
Just start riffing.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
So a Jailhouse jam session starts.
Sitting in the castle, waiting for the guard.
Amazing.
Okay, so you wait for another few hours. You're not quite sure how long you've been in here now, but it's quite a long time. Are there any conversations you want to have whilst you're waiting, or?
No, happy to wait it out.
Intensely anticipatory waiting.
Okay.
Can I just do a memory check, so to speak? Have I encountered either of the people that we may be seeing shortly?
Roll a history check.
9.
No, I don't think you will have encountered either of them, to be honest. You've heard vaguely of them, but you tended to operate further north anyway. And you had some dealings with the Gentarim, but rarely ventured towards Waterdeep. You definitely have, you visited before, but your piracy is limited to more northern seas.
Yeah. Cool, that's fine. They shouldn't recognise my face.
Okay, so you wait, and eventually the first door that you tried swings open, and you see the familiar face of Vajra, dark-skinned, short hair, fairly short in stature, walk in holding the black staff. And she immediately looks at you, Erallur, and rolls her eyes. Not an exasperated look, in a more, what have you got up to now, almost camaraderie. Laurel informs me that you have some sort of sword that you were meant to give to her, but not to her, and you tried to teleport into her castle. Maybe not the best of ideas, Erallur, but there is an individual who tasked you with this, and you seem to have made a few new allies, including one who thinks that they are owing a life debt to Laurel, despite her having never met them before. Is that about the sum of it?
That's pretty much everything, yeah.
And then also this guard, and you see the slightly toothy, embarrassed expression of the guard hanging back. You tried to suggest something to him, Erallur, and it seemed to work, but also didn't work. And we are also dealing with the re-emergence of a nethery city.
It's not your day, is it?
It's not our day, I would say, Master Hookbeard. Shall we adjourn to my tower, and we can discuss what you have been doing with yourselves, and perhaps decide on our next course of action?
How do we know it's you?
That is a very good question. Erallur, when we last trained in my tower, what were you able to do?
Well, the thing I did just before you arrived, but a few different things.
Yes.
I mean, asking me the answer is not proving anything.
Well, but I don't know who you are either.
Right, but I thought you were proving who you are first.
I can do that. Ask me a question.
When we were in your tower, what did I do?
We experimented with your time magic, and you realized that you were able to teleport yourself in a straight line backwards or forwards, depending on the power of a spell that you cast.
Well done.
Now, when we first met, what happened to my apprentice?
You have an apprentice?
I feel like this is actually a challenge for me. So in my actual memory, we were at the party, the apprentice was pretending to be Vajra, and then was killed.
She was kidnapped.
Kidnapped.
And you would know that.
Yes.
Yes, and then went to the Undermountain to go and get her.
Yeah.
Okay. I say exactly that.
Very good. Laurel, they are who they say they are. I am happy to take them off your hands. Wait just one moment. I brought you here to verify who they were. I still need to interrogate them. Is it not enough that I vouch for them? You have enough on your plate without dealing with ruffians, as you called them. Yes, but this sword. I didn't ask them to get it, but now I'm rather interested in it. What does it do?
It just hurts real bad when you hold it.
From the handle, not the rest of it.
Then why would anybody ask you to get it?
Something that we're not entirely sure of either.
I do not think we should tell you if you do not remember asking us.
That's fair. I should also point out that you are still within my castle, and I can choose to not let you free. So perhaps you should tell me.
No, thank you.
Really? You want me to close the door again and just leave you in here?
Well, that would just be murder.
Nobody knows you're here, other than Vajra, and she owes me a few favours.
See, when the version of you came to our pub, she was quite nice.
Then she
That's
must
the
never
question.
have met me. I don't
That's a
have the luxury of being nice.
That's a shame. I'd heard good things about the open world of Waterdeep.
All right, look, you've caught me on a bad day. Please just explain what the sword does. If it's a dangerous thing, then perhaps I can take it off your hands and look after it.
We've met a lot of people in the last, while that think they want to be the ones to look after it. So, no thank you.
It is something that you said needed to be brought to safety so that nobody else could use it for our own ends. But seeing as you do not seem to be you, or at least you do not seem to be as nice as you were, I think it is best if we keep it on as a continuation of the mission.
And I'm sure if it is dangerous or not to be in our hands, Vajra will take it off our hands.
I lean over to Flint. Do we trust this Vajra? I do not know. I cannot read her.
She's steered us relatively well thus far.
She gave us a pub.
And yeah, she gave us our pub as well.
Oh, that is very good. Okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Very well, I don't have time to continue dealing with whatever in the hells this is. Vajra, take them away, please.
How did you know we went to hell?
I didn't. It's an expression.
Oh, funny.
If you would follow me all, let's go to the tower.
I'll pick up the sword, put it away.
Well, Flint's got it. Do you allow Salute to do
Pick
that?
up Flint and put him away. Sorry, no, if Flint's got it, he can do what he wants.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it away because I don't want anyone else touching it.
Okay. So you are taken through the slightly less crowded streets of Waterdeep now towards the Black Stars Tower. You see a few of the guards stationed outside, and they nod as Vajra goes past. You enter the tower and are taken to the spiral staircase, which some of you ventured up on your way to the ball, taken slightly higher than you were on that evening to what looks like a slightly smaller study than any that you've been in before. There are a very neat selection of books on a number of shelves that run around the entirety of the room, save for the door. There are a couple of desks with ink and quill. There are some notes that are very neatly tidied on those desks, and a few fairly plump-looking cushioned seats that are scattered across the room. And as you walk in, Vajra looks up and down, counts however many of you there are, and then hits the staff on the floor one more time, and you see some of those seats duplicate so that there are enough for all of you to be seated on. Please, take a seat.
Do so.
So, it seems you have been up to some misadventures since we last spoke.
It's one word for it, eh?
And you have this sword.
It's quite an achievement, actually.
Really? Do
Yeah.
tell.
I think Saluk should tell the story.
Well, I first met the Open Lord when I was just outside the High Forest. And are you sure it didn't seem to go very well last time?
Maybe jump ahead to the part where we went to go get the sword and just give a short version.
Well, the Open Lord, who saved my life not too long before, had tasked us, or tasked me and then the group you'll see here to go with me, to retrieve this artifact that Flint has here. It is something that she saw as a danger to, I assume, to Waterdeep or to society. She wanted us to go and get it and bring it back to her so she could keep it safe. She was worried that it would fall into the wrong hands. But, well, when we went to get it, it fell into the wrong hands several times, and then it fell into our hands, which I hope are the right ones, and then we brought it back here. But now we are here, and there's a floating city in the sky, which is a stupid idea, and well, the Open Lord does not seem to know us or want anything to do with us, and I need to repay my debt and get home, and I do not understand what is happening. Clint, you take over, I'm too...
We also found out along the way that possible that this sword, which, by the way, takes souls and things like that, may well be one of or part of a plan to find all of the Horcruxes. What was the actual word? Hang on, I haven't written down. For the Infinite, who I asked her about before, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, his soul has been split into pieces, and I believe this used to at least hold one of those pieces. And on our journey to find the sword, we learned more about this Infinite person, and it maybe sounds like some of the other things have popped up.
Seems you found out rather more than I did. As for Laeral, I'm not sure I can explain that. What was your name? And she looks at you, Saluk.
My name is Saluk.
A pleasure. You said you met her in the High Forest.
Well, outside. It was a small village, not really anything to look at. And, well, there was a dragon attack. I've been hunting green dragons. It's mainly what I do before I got caught up in this. And a Laeral was there, and she saved my life. Or I thought it was her, but now I don't know.
It would be unusual for Laeral to venture that far outside the city these days. Her adventuring days are long done, as far as I was aware.
She did not really explain herself. She seemed quite eager to get back to the city.
And quite eager to cash in her debt, it would seem.
Immediately.
Are you aware of Manchun?
I am very aware of Manchun. Why do you say that name?
Well, he's interested as well. And I think this is just a hunch, but it's a chance that maybe he was the one who sent us to get it in the first place, since he then asked us to get it.
He was one of the set of wrong hands that we met along the way.
Erallur, Juniper, you notice that Vigo is shuffling slightly nervously now that you've brought up his boss. Well, that is certainly concerning. But why would he not simply come to you openly? Or why would he make such a complicated plan and risk you putting it into the hands of the Open Lord of Waterdeep?
Well, he wanted a whole group of adventurers to go on his behalf. And then, well, one of them took it away, someone we knew. But again, I don't know if maybe it wasn't her. And then we followed her around the universe.
Who was this person?
Lorathel's sister.
Oh.
She didn't seem quite the same.
Well, it's certainly convoluted enough to be a Manchunian plan, but still seems a bit strange. And then, what happened at the castle? You managed to convince a guard, but also not convince him. Erallur, how has your magic been behaving recently?
Much the same.
Still fluctuating occasionally.
It's been okay, I think.
And now we have another city floating. We haven't had any major time fluctuations for quite a long period, but perhaps something is happening now. But whether it's related to the Infinite, I am unsure. This sword that can take souls, it's one of several artifacts. What were the other ones?
So one of them was a book.
Yes.
And the description made it sound not like the book that we found in, where was it? It was in Lorathel's hometown, which was called... yeah, that. And then another one was a staff, which could be my staff, which I don't have anymore. Or, no, I don't have it at all. But, I mean, it would just be a staff. A goblet, which we have.
Mm-hmm.
And a sword.
And what happened to the book?
Destroyed, didn't it?
It got cut in half by Lorathel.
So you released the soul. Not you. He released the soul.
As we're talking to Bajra, just because we've been burned before, does this seem like it's actually her?
Roll an insight check.
That is a 17.
You've not spoken all that much to Bajra yourself, but given that she seems to be asking the right questions as far as you're concerned, and gave the knowledge of what happened with Erallur, and Erallur confirmed it, seems like it's Bajra.
Okay. I'll just continue listening.
So, do you know where Lorathel's sister is now?
Well, first we followed her to this place where you can go between planes with doorways, and then
Not
we went through the
not Sigurd.
yeah.
All right.
And then we went through a doorway, and there was some strange people there, but I'm sure it's always like that.
It sounds like
What was
Sigurd,
the
yes.
first? What was the first place we went to? It wasn't straight to hell, was it?
No, it was to Juniper's father's.
Oh yeah, Eberron. Yeah. So then we went to somewhere which we were told was called Eberron. Then we went to hell.
Which was lovely. Not.
Sorry, what was your name?
Elsie Skipstone's the name.
Nice to meet you. And so hell was lovely.
Not.
That was a surprising statement. Yes, Erallur, sorry.
And then didn't we come here? Hang on.
Feywild.
Yes, Feywild. So then, okay, and then we tried to plane shift out of hell, but we ended up in the Feywild.
Right.
That's why Elsie looks like this.
Yes, I thought you might be a gnomish Triton descendant, but no, you're not usually watery.
No, a water version of myself tried to drown me.
Oh, right. That's a lot of information to take in.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's one of the less strange things that has happened on the way.
Certainly seems it, yes. Also, Flint, they keep referring to the Feywild, but you don't remember any of that.
Yeah, I'm very confused.
You're not going to ask about it?
No, I think I'm just going to nod along and go, no.
Oh, Flint's one of those, genuinely.
Yeah,
I
think
understand that reference.
Yeah.
So, you have a sword that can take souls.
Oh yeah, another thing about the sword is, so it was active, and then we followed Farallin, who took the sword, and then we found the sword. She just left it behind in the hand of this sort of statue of a person. So we took it, and it seems real, but it seemed empty. But now it's sort of active again.
But we are forgetting a really key point here, is that you were stabbed with the sword, Erallur, and we believe a part of you may be gone.
I mean, I feel the same. So I maybe you have to activate it. You know, you have to like do it on purpose, but it can also be used as a normal sword.
Okay. So
But
you were
Starfy
stabbed.
is gone.
Sorry, who's Starfy?
Our mascot.
But wait, you mentioned your staff before.
He lived in the staff, and then now he's gone. Well, the staff. I destroyed the staff. Have I not seen you since then? I destroyed the staff.
No, yes, I think you mentioned that you had to destroy.
And
your
then
staff
and then my friends made a sacrifice, and not a human sacrifice.
Good.
We got to keep Starfy, and Starfy lived in Truffle, and then Starfy is not here anymore. So I assumed that was related.
Right. This is one of the strangest tales that I've ever been spun, and that is saying something. What do you intend to do with the sword now? Keep hold of it and keep it safe?
I mean, if it's active, we want it as far away from whoever as possible. Same as the goblet.
There are a few things that we can do there. I could send it to an otherwise unoccupied demi-plane that only I have access to. You, Erallur, could plane shift to somewhere similar and place it in a place only you know about. We could seal it in the vaults beneath Castle Waterdeep.
Let's do the first two. You take one thing, and I'll take the other thing.
That seems a good idea. Do you want me to take the sword or the goblet?
I'd say she takes the goblet. We keep hold of where we know the sword is.
That sounds like a good idea.
Could we not destroy them both?
I think having destroyed the book, maybe that means the soul is released.
But as well as you hide them, there's always a chance that someone might find them.
Well, I think we're only hiding them temporarily for now until we know what we're doing with them.
Well,
or we're setting up a future adventure for some other people.
I do not know. Remember that Farallin did not need the items. He only needed the magic from it. That is the whole reason that we chased after them. Although, then again, the magic seems to be back in this sword now. So I do not know. I will leave it to you.
Well, perhaps the sword is similar to some other magical items that I have come across and has a certain number of uses during a day, or needs to power a ritual. You said it was in the hand of a statue and you then ended up in hell?
No, we were already in hell. No, we weren't in hell when that happened. We then went, oh, I'm so confused.
You and me both, Elsie. You and me both.
I was there.
I mean, why don't we see if it's still active and, try and get Starfy back?
Well, I held it when we believed it was active. So should I see if it feels the same?
But didn't you say that it hurts you now and it didn't before?
It didn't hurt me last time,
But
I don't think.
others of you said that it hurts now.
Did the two of you that held it recently or hold it last time?
No.
I hadn't touched it until now.
Okay.
But
Can I try? Because I held it last time, just in case.
Yeah. Can you
Also, I might be resistant to whatever it is.
are
make a
you?
Constitution saving throw for me?
28.
Okay, so you are resistant because it's cold damage. So you take 1 point of cold damage.
I mean, does it feel the same as last time?
There's a similar thrum to it, but it didn't hurt you before.
Hmm.
And you just notice on the back of your hand frost beads.
Can I swish it around?
Yeah.
Do I feel like I'd know how to take a soul?
You'd probably need to sit down with it for a while in order to discern that, or have Flint identify it again.
Right. Okay. So you identified it before.
Right.
Yeah.
I did.
Does that not carry over then?
Yeah, but Flint would know that. Basically, there's no activation to it. You stab somebody, then you take their soul.
Yeah.
out.
What about, and I'll ask you this properly, what about returning souls?
Again, you stab somebody and you can will the soul into them if you wish to.
How did Truffle have the soul? Well, how did Truffle have Starfy taken away? We just got hit.
It was slashed.
Okay. Trust me. I'm not trying to hit you. Where's Truffle?
What are you doing now?
I'm trying to give Truffle Starfy back.
Are we sure we want to use the sword right now?
I put Truffle on the ground
I'll fix him if it breaks.
and just go, I know you don't have a great track record with Erallur, but trust her, okay?
Smash him.
So you swing.
I'm not going to do it so hard that he gets completely destroyed.
Okay, roll an attack roll for me.
Like a little tap with intention. What am I adding to this?
Are you proficient with swords?
Probably not.
So it would be your strength.
I'm proficient with no.
Proficient with no.
18.
Okay, what's Truffle's armor class?
It's fairly high.
Yeah.
It is. Let me just scroll down. I think it's 19. Yep, 19.
Okay.
I rolled so well.
So, like Gimli striking the ring, there is an almighty "Kung!" and the sword just bounces off Truffle's armor. Nary a dent.
Does anyone here know how to use a sword?
Yes.
Brennan
I
nods.
do not like this idea.
How are you holding in there, Truffle? You okay? Okay.
And you see the wings just fluttering nervously.
Let's try and maybe speed this up.
Who do you hand the sword to, Erallur?
Well, who are my options?
Brenner or Elsie?
Brenner.
Okay. You see Brenner has disappeared. You see Brenner crack their neck and then their muscles tense as they seem to go into a rage in order to strike Truffle. And Flint, you just yeah, that'll hit. So there is a above the head, a nod, and then Truffle takes
Got mending right here, ready to go.
10 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And the sword comes down, and you see one of the wings is quite cut. There are flecks of metal that spark off. The sword comes back up. Brenner should have taken damage when they touched it, which I forgot. So they took 4 points of cold damage. Nothing else seems to happen. Brenner holds the sword,
So
shrugs.
I'm going to go and touch it and cast mending and at the same time see if Starfy is there.
Okay. Do you say anything?
Hello? Okay, did mending work?
Yes.
Sword's broken.
Okay.
Or perhaps Starfy is no longer within it.
No, I refuse to accept that.
Maybe they got really fed up with him talking.
Brenna then holds the sword out to you, Erallur, again.
I mean, you give it back to Flint.
Shrugs and holds it to Flint.
Take it.
Okay.
Put it away again.
Okay. Can you roll another Constitution saving throw for me?
Although, aren't I taking it to put it somewhere at some point?
Yeah.
You can keep it if you want.
No, I'll take it for now. So that's 19.
Okay. You take 4 points of cold damage.
Okay.
I think we should just stay in this room and pass it back and forth until one of us dies.
I mean, that's one way to end a campaign.
So, I turn to Vajra. Our job is done.
Seemingly. If you entrust me with the goblet, who has it?
I think it's in the bag of holding.
No, it's with Vigo, actually.
Oh, I thought we put it in the bag of holding.
No, he kept hold of it.
Okay.
God damn it, Vigo.
I'll look at him.
He shrugs, takes it out of the bag. And who are you two? Nobody's. No need to concern yourselves with us. It's fine. Yes, because that is not an entirely suspicious answer.
They have been very helpful to us on our journey.
Good. Erallur, who are they?
It took us to follow Farron.
That's still not answering my question. Who are they?
They broke us out of the prison.
Erallur.
Because you see, they've been working with Farron for Manchun, so they were the perfect people to help us track it down.
I'm sorry. Did you say they worked for Manchun?
So they were the perfect people to help us track down Farron? Did I?
The tension in the room shifts, and you see that Vigo's hand that held the goblet has now slipped beneath his cloak, and Brenna is still breathing slightly more heavily than they were before. Erallur, do you vouch for these two?
I can vouch for how they've been since we've known them, but I can't.
That's generally
really...
what vouching for them would mean.
Sure, but I don't really know them. But I know how they've... I mean, we've been through some crazy things, and they've been all right.
Thanks for the recommendation.
I mean, you work for Manchun. So...
Yeah, all right, that's fair. All right. For now, I will not threaten them. So, Erallur, I propose that you do not tell me which plane you wish to place the sword upon, and I will not tell you where I place the goblet, just in case either is compromised. Mm-hmm. I'm not so confident in my security arrangements that I do not believe that I can be outdone at certain points. So, if that is all you wish to speak to me about, then I should return to my concerns regarding the city and its new arrival.
Are you concerned about these other pieces of soul?
I am, particularly as they seem to be coalescing together with this Farallin person. But now that we have these two artifacts, then perhaps we will stop the Infinite from whatever their scheme is. I am concerned that magic seems to be behaving quite strangely again, and whether it is connected to the Infinite or connected to something else that we have previously been dealing with, but sadly only time will tell.
Do you have a way to locate a person, just in case?
I do, as it happens, yes. They have to be on this plane.
Oh, never mind.
So, out of interest, you mentioned the city. What's going on?
I am not entirely sure, Flint, to be honest. It appeared a number of hours ago, early this morning, and haven't had any contact with it as of yet. I assume we will send some emissaries, but that could be dangerous if it is one of the Netherese cities and they are under the impression that they still rule Faerun. Then they may wish to subjugate those emissaries, and that would lead to a rather rude awakening and a rather ugly war. If they have somehow slipped through a rift in time, or are a floating city from the future, which is another possibility, or were a hidden floating city that was forgotten when Netheril fell, there are many things that we do not know, and I wish to investigate. I may well call upon your services to investigate some of them if you are willing.
Oh, we're retired.
That is your prerogative, of course. It is a shame. I had found you reliable, but I suppose
All
I could...
people that help you get pubs.
If that is all then, and you do not wish to know what is going on, then I would ask that you leave me to my other responsibilities.
How long did you say the city had been here?
Since this morning?
Hmm.
Why?
It just seems odd that when we come back, it's there, is all.
What time did you come back?
I don't know. What time did we come back, Master?
The early hours of this morning.
Mm-hmm.
When we went out onto the street, the citizens of Waterdeep were running around as if they had only just seen anything.
You arrived more or less at the same time as the city did.
Seems that way.
Either there is some god playing a cruel joke on all of you, or you are the unluckiest people I have ever had the fortune to meet. Either way, as you are retired, I will get to the bottom of this. Good luck hiding the sword, Erallur. I hope that the Infinite does not manage to find what they are looking for. Enjoy your retirement, I suppose.
You're welcome at the pub anytime.
I should think so too. I gave it to you. Now, please, I have a lot to do.
Well, Godspeed.
In my experience, the gods are not terribly speedy and are quite annoying, but I enjoy the sentiment, Flint. Thank you.
No worries. Right,
So-
boss. Pub?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I could use another drink.
Or several.
Yeah, that too. So, do you leave the tower?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you're going, Elsie, Vigo falls into step with you and just slips the wine bottle over to your hand.
Thanks.
Well, it is yours.
To be honest, I hadn't realised that you still had it.
Well, I hid it pretty well. Also, going to meet an authority figure who hates who you work for, you need a stiff drink.
True.
Okay, so do you head back to the docks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You get back to the pub and your staff are back, Erallur. You see Orkins behind the bar, and you also see an individual who seems to be slightly lower than him in height and moving slightly oddly behind the bar.
Yeah, we employed someone new.
One side of their hair is plaited quite tightly, and the rest of their hair tumbles down their left shoulder. They have fairly tanned skin and lots of freckles. Their hair is a wash of browns and little bits of ginger highlights, and they wear an apron over a fairly nondescript jerkin that looks homespun. And as you walk in, you see that there are a few patrons, a few more than usual at this time of day. It's quite late by now as you wander back. And as you walk in, Orkins goes, "Well, welcome back. Haven't seen you in a while. So you've seen the city then?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, can I get anyone a drink?
Please.
That'd be nice.
Tess, do you mind? No? What are you having?
Anything and everything.
I think we'll have some of our special brew.
Some of our... sorry. Hi, I'm Tess.
Nice to meet you.
You must be boss lady.
Yes.
And you notice as she takes her hands down off the bar and then seems to move them quite rhythmically. And then Juniper, you notice the rails that you saw before as her wheelchair shoots down them and she wheels herself out to come and shake hands with you.
It's very nice to meet a new member of staff.
It's nice to meet you too. And you're Flint, right?
It's lovely to have you.
And Juniper?
I shake hand, pour copiously.
And the other ones? Don't know your names. Hawkins didn't really tell me about you folk.
It's because I have no idea who Hawkins is.
It's Hawkins. Hawkins is the halfling.
What?
You really don't know anything, do you?
Excuse me, I know some things. That you're not a very good waitress and I don't have my drink yet.
Wow.
I point to a sign and the sign says, "We do not tolerate rude customers."
And you just see Hawkins crack his knuckles behind the bar.
Where is that on the wall full of signs?
So
Back middle, I would think.
drowned out by all of the other ones. All of the signs that have been put up there over the year,
And they're
all of
like
them are
really
diminished because
specific situations.
Well, I guess I should be fixing you a drink then. And wheels back behind the bar and starts preparing stuff.
So, what are we all doing? So, Luke, you presumably have what you came for, except for maybe an answer.
I do not know. I thought when we brought the sword back that would be it, that my debt would be fulfilled. But now that the person I owe it to does not even remember me, does not even want me to fulfill the oath, I don't know where I stand. I think I might have to stay and think for a while.
Well, we have rooms.
I will find one.
Well, you're always welcome if you want.
And then Saluk gets up from the table, wanders off towards the room, with nary a glance towards the cast point.
I guess we'll probably go too. Well, after a few drinks, it's probably time to go. Need to report in and get back to Neverwinter. And Flint, you notice that Vigo is looking around a little oddly at the pub, seemingly taking in a few details.
So you're going to go back to your boss and tell him that you didn't bring the sword?
Well, he decided that he probably shouldn't have it, if you remember.
Right.
He was just happy that
it wasn't.
We bested Farrellin, but I suppose we kind of did, kind of didn't.
So you're going to tell him that maybe she took the magic with her?
No, I'm going to lie.
Okay.
Is he likely to fall for that?
Probably not.
Well, good luck then.
Thanks.
I assume that's better than just not going back.
Yeah, he's got people that'd hunt me down quickly.
Hmm.
And Erallur, you notice as well that Vigo seems a little bit distracted by the pub.
Have you never been in a pub before?
What?
Well, you look like you've never been in a pub before.
No, I have. I just, I feel like I've been here before.
Have you been here before?
I don't know. Maybe. Looks a bit different.
I mean, it was a building before it was a pub. I don't know what was it used for. I can't remember.
It was a tavern before.
Oh, oh yeah, it was, wasn't it? But why did she own it? She just owned it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, maybe you've been here before. We've renovated it quite a lot. You just might not remember.
Maybe.
You used to be able to see the walls behind the signs.
Oh no, yeah, no, I've not been here before. It's fine.
All right.
I think you have. I think there's something telling it.
I've just been to a lot of taverns. It reminded me of other places. It's fine.
How legit is he?
Roll an insight check.
Yeah,
legit. Oh yeah, let's look.
So that's 20, not natural.
Oh, he's lying. He's been here before.
Yeah, I got 16.
You're not aware that he's lying, Elsie.
Oh.
So, what makes you think you've been here before?
No, I was mistaken. I haven't.
No, but what was it that made you think? Well, maybe I might have.
Just the layout. It seemed familiar.
The layout. See, we've been travelling long enough that I think you can probably tell us the truth.
We won't judge you too much.
No, good.
All right then. Well, this tab's on you.
But it's your pub.
Zone of truth. No, I didn't roll a high enough insight check.
I feel like
I think that was a good idea.
Truth is just baked into the woodwork.
I mean, you can ask Juniper's in her own little world at the moment. I don't think she's
My insight's not good enough.
cottoned
I
on.
want to.
Well, each to their own, I suppose. Don't say I didn't ask.
I won't.
All right, good. Well, on that note, I think I am going to go to bed. It's still relatively early, but we have had a long, I don't even know how many days, hopping between places, and I'd quite like to sleep.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Flint. Or it's been something.
It's definitely been something.
I hope we meet each other all again at some point under happier skies.
Maybe when you're not working for Manchun anymore.
Fingers crossed. That'll be soon. Shut up.
Well, I'm going out to the boat. If anybody needs me, I will be sleeping in there.
Your boat is in Neverwinter, Flint.
That's right, it is. I walk to the door and then I walk back and I go, well, I'll find a room upstairs. The old Grandpa Simpson routine. So yeah, I go upstairs and I sleep.
Okay.
I'm going to do the same.
Okay. Vigo finishes the drink. Brenna finishes theirs. They say their farewells. So Luke's already gone. Juniper's going. Elsie, what are you doing?
I'm
Well,
still
let's go.
watery.
You are, yes.
Have I changed at all?
Not today, no.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to leave the pub.
Okay.
I'm going to go wander down towards the harbour, just
Okay.
because it's been a long time since I've seen the sea.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I feel like harbours are my happier place.
Yeah, it's nice. It's almost summertime now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So there's strong smell of fish,
Mm-hmm.
strong smell of salt, but it's pleasantly temperate.
Yeah. Was I going to do something? I guess I could wander for a bit and then I'll probably then just go to bed as well.
Okay. So Luke, which room did you go to? Just a random one?
So Luke's actually on the roof at the moment.
So Luke's on the roof. Okay. So can you make a perception check for me then, Luke?
This isn't a room. That's a 12.
Okay. So yeah, you just look out at the moon reflecting on the sea. Elsie, which room do you go to? Just
I suppose I've not been given a room, so when I go back to the pub, I sheepishly go over to Dawkins or Borkins, whichever one it was, and I suppose I'll ask, I was with them. I suppose I can sleep here too. Where can I sleep?
Oh, well, have you discussed it with Lady Erallur?
Yeah, she said I could stay.
Roll a deception check.
Deception?
Yeah.
Oh. 10?
Oh, well, that seems fair then. Probably if you go into the extension and last room on the left, that one's free.
Right, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Sleep well.
Thank you.
Okay. So
I go there.
you waddle off. All of you go to your rest with Vigo and Brenna walking off along the docks of Waterdeep. And that is where we'll end tonight's session. Thank you very much for playing. Thank you very much for listening. Like, subscribe, download, all the stuff. Everybody wants to say bye, say bye.
Bye. Back to retirement.
Yes.
Yes.
Pub.
Sure.
Nothing will ever happen ever again.